The city is finally quiet. The endless hum of traffic has faded into a distant murmur, and the only sound in our small apartment is the gentle rhythm of your breathing. I sit here in the dim glow of your dinosaur nightlight and just watch you. Your little chest rises and falls. Your face is so peaceful, a slight smile playing on your lips. Maybe you're dreaming of epic space adventures or leading a herd of friendly triceratops through a jungle. Whatever it is, I hope it's a happy dream. It's funny, isn't it? The world outside feels so big, so loud, so demanding. Work emails that never stop, bills that stack up, a to-do list that seems to regenerate itself every night. Everyone wants a piece of you. They want your time, your energy, your attention. You're a colleague, a customer, a taxpayer, a number in a system. You're supposed to be strong, capable, always moving forward. But in here, in this quiet room, I'm just Dad. And that's the most important, and sometimes the scariest title of all. I look at your tiny hands, curled up by your cheek. They're so small, yet they hold my entire world. I remember the day you were born. The chaos, the fear, the overwhelming wave of love that hit me the moment I first held you. It was like a part of my heart was suddenly living outside my body. From that day on, every decision, every choice, was filtered through one question. What's best for him? It hasn't been easy. Your mom and I, well, things change. People change. And sometimes, love just isn't enough to hold two worlds together. Now, it's just you and me most of the time. We're a team. Our little two-man wolf pack. I try my best to be both mom and dad. I pack your lunches. I try to braid your sister's hair when she visits. I read bedtime stories with all the funny voices. I taught you how to ride your bike, even though my back ached for a week after running up and down the park. We build echo castles that defy gravity and have epic water fights in the backyard. These are the good moments. The moments I bottle up and save for nights like this. But there are other nights. Nights when the silence after you're asleep is deafening. The apartment feels too big, too empty. Loneliness is a strange thing. It's not just about being alone. You can be in a crowded room and feel like you're on a deserted island. It's a quiet ache, a feeling that you're on the outside looking in. I see other families at the park, moms and dads together, laughing. And for a second, a pang of something, envy, sadness? I don't know. I just push it down and focus on pushing you higher on the swing. I scroll through my phone sometimes, seeing pictures of old friends. They're on vacation, at fancy dinners, living lives that seem so full. My life is full too, but in a different way. It's full of school runs, scraped knees, and arguments about eating vegetables. It's full of you, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But still, the man I was before I was Dad feels like a stranger, a ghost from a different lifetime. I used to have hobbies. I played guitar, went hiking with friends, stayed out late just talking about nothing. Where did that guy go? Did he disappear the day you arrived? I look around this apartment. It's not much. The sofa is a bit worn. The paint is chipping in the corner. It's a rental, a temporary space, but we've made it a home. Your crayon drawings are taped to the fridge. Your muddy sneakers are by the door. Your favorite stuffed bear is sitting guard on the armchair. This is our kingdom, and I am its sole and sometimes weary king. The weight of it all can be crushing. The responsibility. Am I doing enough? Am I a good father? Will you grow up happy? Will you resent me for the things we don't have, for the family that isn't normal? These are the questions that keep me up at night, long after the dinosaur nightlight has been turned off. You deserve the world, and I feel like all I can give you is this small rented corner of it. Just now, as I was lost in these thoughts, a sound drifted through the open window. Faint at first, then clearer. Someone is playing the piano. It's not a masterpiece, not a concert pianist. it's hesitant. A few wrong notes here and there. A pause as they find their place again. It sounds like someone is learning, or maybe just remembering. It's a simple melody, one I think I've heard before, but I can't place it. It's beautiful. The notes hang in the night air, filling the silence in my apartment, in my head. It's a sound of another life, another person, just a few walls away. Someone else is awake in this big, sleeping city. Maybe they're lonely too. Maybe they're playing to forget or to remember. Maybe they're playing for someone who isn't there. For a moment, I don't feel so alone. It's like a quiet message sent out into the darkness, a signal saying, I'm here. And tonight, I heard it. The music connects us, this unknown neighbor and me. We are strangers, but we are sharing this moment. We are both here in the quiet of the night with our own stories, our own heartaches, our own hopes. The melody is bittersweet, a mix of sadness and hope, just like life. It's a reminder that even when you feel isolated, you are part of a larger symphony. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. The song is ending now, the final notes fading away, leaving the silence behind. But it's a different kind of silence. It's not empty anymore. It's peaceful. The weight on my chest feels a little lighter. I look at you again, my sleeping son. You are my melody, my beautiful, chaotic, perfect song. Everything I do for you. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. Maybe I am enough. I know there will be more tough nights, more moments of doubt. But tonight, thanks to a stranger and their piano, I feel a sense of peace, a connection to the world outside this room. I lean over and kiss your forehead, careful not to wake you. Sleep well, little man, I whisper. Dad's here, and for the first time in a long time, I really believe it. The city is still sleeping, but I feel awake, and I'm not alone. Thank you for watching and for sharing this quiet moment with me. If you've ever felt this way, know that you're not alone either. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. Good night. In the heart of the city, as the sun dips below the skyline, the rush of the world begins to settle into a hushed stillness. The living room is bathed in the blue hues of dusk. Behind him, in the doorway of a small room, little Noah is already fast asleep. Daniel sighs, his hands resting heavily on his knees. It's the kind of silence that feels heavy, a reminder of the day's long toil. But then it starts. A single note, then another, drifting through the shared wall like a secret whispered in the dark. It became our routine. Every night, I would find a spot, sometimes the couch, sometimes just leaning against the cool plaster of the wall. The music was a language of its own. Slow, gentle notes felt like a soft exhale after a long, frantic day. But other nights, the tempo would quicken. The notes were sharp and restless, like a quiet argument between the keys and the player. One Tuesday, the music didn't come. The silence was deafening. I found myself staring at the ceiling, feeling strangely unsettled by the void. The next morning, I couldn't help myself. I caught the landlord in the lobby, the morning sun streaming through the glass doors. He told me about the new tenant, a young woman, a piano teacher. He spoke of her with a warm, knowing smile. Walking back to my door, I looked at the unit next to mine. It was no longer just a room. It was a person. Our first meeting was accidental. A simple task of taking out the rubbish turned into a moment of quiet recognition. There she was. Dark hair pulled back, wearing a simple gray jumper. She looked exactly as her music sounded, calm and polite. We exchanged a brief, polite hello and a small nod. Two strangers sharing a hallway, yet connected by more than just bricks. Back inside, I leaned against my door, my heart racing for reasons I couldn't quite explain. I found myself smiling. That night, when the music began, it felt different. It wasn't just background noise anymore. It was a conversation. I realized we were both unwinding. We both used these evening hours to let go of the tension the world put upon us. I stayed on that couch until the very last note faded away, leaving the room to the soft sounds of the city outside. A few days later, the chaos of life caught up with me. I was carrying Noah and the groceries, feeling the weight of everything. A clumsy move, a misplaced elbow, and a small potted plant on the ledge went crashing to the floor. Soil scattered everywhere. Noah woke up, his eyes filling with tears at the sight of the broken mess. Then the neighboring door opened. She didn't say a word. She just appeared with a dustpan and a quiet, comforting presence. She spoke softly to Noah, easing his sadness. Then she disappeared back inside for a moment, returning with a small blue mug. It was a simple gesture, but in that moment, the shared music and the shared silence finally found a bridge. We are all neighbors in this life, looking for a bit of harmony. Sometimes all it takes is a melody through a wall to remind us we're not alone. That was how it began, not with anything dramatic, not with a grand moment or a deep conversation, just a broken plant, a borrowed mug, and a small child who stared at a stranger like she was the most interesting person he had ever seen. After that, they started talking. Not long conversations at first, just a few words here and there in the hallway. A good morning on the way out. A brief exchange about the weather or the noisy pipes in the building. The kind of words that don't require courage, just presence. But then one evening, Daniel was coming back from the corner shop, just as she was arriving home from what looked like a long day. She had a bag of books over one shoulder and the kind of tired in her eyes that isn't fixed by one good night of sleep. He held the building door open for her. "Long day?" he asked. She paused, then nodded. "I had 6 students today. Back to back. 6 piano lessons in one day," he said. "That sounds exhausting." She let out a breath that was almost a laugh. "It is. But also, the only part of the day that feels normal right now." He didn't push. But something in the way she said it told him that there was a much bigger story behind those words. He simply said, "I understand that. More than you'd think." She looked at him then, really looked at him, for just a moment. Just the quiet recognition of 2 people who are both carrying something heavy and have both learned to carry it without making too much noise. "I'm Elena," she said. "Daniel," he said. They shook hands the way adults do when they finally decide to be proper. That night, when the piano started, Daniel sat on his couch and felt something new. Before, the music had felt like something from a distance, but now there was a name behind it. A face. He found himself listening differently, more carefully. The way certain notes lingered a little longer than others. The way the melody would sometimes pause, just briefly, before continuing, like someone collecting themselves mid-sentence. He thought about what she had said. That teaching piano was the only part of the day that felt normal right now. Right now. He just knew that whatever she was going through it alone. He knew that feeling like the back of his hand. Over the following days, the hallway conversations grew a little longer, a little warmer. She asked about Noah once, how old he was. Daniel told her he was 4, and that he liked school except for Tuesdays. She laughed at that. A real laugh, not a polite one. He noticed the difference immediately. Later that night, Daniel realized he had started looking forward to more than just the music. He had started looking forward to her. He carried this feeling quietly, the way you carry something fragile, carefully, with both hands. His wife had been gone for 2 years. 2 years of learning how to be a father on his own. 2 years of putting one foot in front of the other, because stopping wasn't something he could afford to do. But this didn't feel like surviving. It felt like something waking up, and that terrified him. Waking up meant admitting that some part of him had been asleep. That quiet and still was safe. Quiet and still didn't hurt. And now here was this woman, with her late-night piano and her laugh, making that quiet, still part of him stir. He started finding reasons to be in the hallway at the time he knew she usually came home. Their conversations had settled into something comfortable by now. Easy. Natural. She told him little things about her day. A student who finally mastered a piece of sheet music she'd found. He told her about Noah's latest phase of asking why after absolutely everything. Small things, real things. But one evening, the conversation went somewhere deeper. It was a Friday. Noah was at his grandmother's for the night. He had walked Elena to her door, talking the whole way up. She paused and said, almost without thinking, "Do you want to come in for a bit? I was just going to make tea." In the quiet corners of our lives, we carry stories that words can rarely touch. Sometimes, healing begins in the simplest of places. An old piano sits in the corner, its yellowed keys holding the weight of melodies long forgotten, bathed in a soft, hazy light. Daniel and Elena sit together, the steam from their tea rising as they share a conversation filled with a comfortable, earnest silence. Elena speaks softly, her eyes reflecting a past pain. She reaches for the piano, but her hands hesitate, pulling back from the music. Daniel listens with deep empathy, the lines on his weary face showing he understands the weight of a memory that refuses to fade. He remembers the laughter of a woman struggling with a fitted sheet, a memory that now feels like it belongs to another lifetime. Then the silence of the hospital room, and the surreal, quiet aftermath of a life that was suddenly gone, leaving only echoes behind. He confesses his guilt, the heavy fear that finding peace is somehow a betrayal of the love he lost. Elena looks at him and says, feeling okay again isn't a betrayal. For the first time, Daniel feels a flicker of quiet realization. Walking home that night, the city lights blur into a soft glow. He looks at the moon and feels the air shift around him. He stands by his son's bed, looking at the rumpled pillow and a lopsided bear, taking a long, slow breath of pure peace. 2 weeks later, the house feels full of life again. Daniel washes dishes in the bright morning light, watching his son play. Noah, in his favorite red jumper, pads toward the hallway where Elena is visiting, his energy filling the quiet spaces. With the simple confidence of a child, Noah offers his toy car to Elena, a bridge of innocence offered to a healing heart. Elena smiles, a warm and surprised expression that lights up the room. Daniel realizes his best days may still be ahead. Sometimes, the most significant connections begin with the smallest gestures. A tiny, worn-out toy car offered by a pair of innocent, trusting hands. Elena crouched down, meeting young Noah at his level. In that moment, she didn't just see a toy. She saw a bridge being built between them. As she took the gift, her guarded expression melted away into a genuine smile. A simple thank you that carried more weight than any grand declaration. With his mission complete, Noah padded away, leaving Elena and Daniel alone in the hallway. The air grew heavy with the weight of unspoken words. Daniel stepped forward, his posture reflecting a nervous but profound honesty. He had carried his feelings in silence, waiting for the courage to speak. Elena watched him closely, her eyes searching his for the truth. She listened to the rhythm of words he had held back for so long. Then, the tension snapped in the best possible way. She admitted she had been waiting for him to say those exact words for weeks. The relief was visible as Daniel joined her in laughter. The fear of rejection finally evaporated, replaced by the comfort of mutual understanding. They spent the afternoon on the floor, sharing soft glances while Noah navigated his cars through the landscape of their newfound joy. As evening fell, the house settled into a comfortable silence. With Noah asleep, Daniel found himself finally at peace in the quiet glow. On the windowsill, a resilient little plant in a chipped blue mug grew quietly in the moonlight, a testament to beauty found in broken things. Closing his eyes, he let the warmth of the home surround him. Here, in this peaceful apartment, they weren't just staying. Hey, we're beginning.